So I'm parked halfway on a handicapped and the employee of the month spot. It's even that 78 and a 65 is too much. There is a fire truck right behind me. I'm gonna see what FSD does. Is 20% offset where it's at? Like, is that where I should keep it? Good morning, peeps. I'm gonna hit two new facilities and one that I've been to already. We're going up from Grand Rapids, we're going to Carson City, then Perrinton, then Lansing, and then back here. When I put in the route, it tried to stop me at a supercharger in Lansing for 5 minutes. Then I put in the supercharger near my house, and it said I'd get there at 10%. So I'm just going to risk it. If not, I've got a bailout option. I've got two bailout options in Lansing. So that's going to be the way it is. All right. I am sitting at 79%. It is 46 degrees outside. Temperature said it's going to be 49 today. Should be a pretty decent day. We got an hour and 7 minutes to go 58 miles. Most of it is going to be on the back roads. We're going to hit 131 for just a smidge. And I'll get to my next destination, my first destination, at 58%. All right, hope you guys enjoy the ride. Car handled that pretty well. Lots of cars around us. FedEx truck blocking this lane of the road. Car went around, put on the blinker. Someone was nice enough to let us in. And as soon as we were past the FedEx truck, we got right back over. I like that. We need to be in the right two lanes. There we go. As usual, nothing special happens on the highway. I didn't touch the wheel or the accelerator or anything. Full stop, and off we go. So now it says I'll get to the final destination at 14% instead of 9%. I've used 274 kilowatt hours per mile so far. So I'm definitely not worried about getting back home. I was going to do it. I'm surprised the car didn't follow the leader around him. But so far we're still at zero. Zero touches, zero presses. Passing lane here. Are we going to take advantage? No, we're going to slow down. Now we take advantage. Got up to 71. I'm surprised that hurry isn't actually speeding. We're doing one under. Is it because I started this trip in standard? I don't know. There it goes. All right, stop there. Don't do any more. All right, chill out. You're going to make me touch the wheel. There is a truck right behind me. And he's keeping up. That's probably what's pushing the car forward, but I can't promise you that. Because the car's done this when it's been completely alone. Okay, it's backing off. Nope. All right, I'm going to drop it to standard. See what happens. There we go. That's getting better. That's getting better. That truck is way closer. And standard doesn't care. Well, it is speeding up a little bit. But it's not doing 68, 72, that kind of stuff. These driver profile modes are a mixed bag, you know. Sometimes standard wants to do 52 and a 55. Sometimes it does the exact speed that I want it to. And hurry sometimes does the exact speed that I want it to, and sometimes it does 72 and a 55. So it's like, what the what? Why it can't just pick a speed and stick to it is beyond me too. I've gone from 60, 68, 63, 62, 61, 63, 64. Just pick a speed and go that. And see, even standard's going too fast. I'm almost going to put it in chill just to see what happens. So this is the consistency thing I was talking about. We're doing 67 and a 55. I'm on standard. There's no consistency to the car whatsoever. In a hurry, it was doing 68, but standard just says 67 and it's fine. So yeah, I'm going slower than I would have been on a hurry. Doesn't make any sense. The only reason we're slowing down is because we're coming up on a car. I'm hesitant to say anything, but when that car turned left, we haven't gone more than 60 or 61. I don't I don't understand the car based. And yep, that's why I didn't want to say anything. Now we're speeding up. 64. It's just wild. It makes no difference what the situation is. The car just does whatever it wants to. Now it's going under the speed limit. And now it's going over the speed limit. Now it's 25. It knows it's 25. Yes, we could go either way. Immediately turn in here. No. Gonna go to the back. Ambulance and delivery entrance. Probably not the best idea. Yeah, it's gonna go all the way around. There's a circle drive right up front. Don't think we should come in back here. Okay. So that was 59 miles, 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I did not touch the wheel or press on the accelerator. The car dropped me off in the back of the building when it should have dropped me off in the front, but I'm not going to fault the car for that. Main gripe with that drive was that it was going wild speeds. Of course, when the speed zone changed, it didn't react to that. Not the way I think it should have. So now I just have to get around front. That was fun. So what I'm going to do, and I am loath to do it, is I'm going to do my max speed offset. I want it to be exactly 18%, but maybe 20. Guess I'll do that. The only reason I'm loath to do it is because Tesla suggests 40%. And they've got to suggest 40% for a reason. And what I want to do is show you what the car does at Tesla's recommended settings. But I also need to test this. So I'm going to put it at 20% and see what that does. Because 20% of 55 should be 66 miles per hour. And on the highway, it would still go, like, I think up to 84. So that would be closer to the speeds that I drive. 15 is too slow. I would want it to be at 18%, but you can't dial it in by single percentage points. The car drove great the entire way here. There was nothing wonky about the driving that it did. It was all speed related. But hey, that's the way it is. I got here at 60%. I think it was projecting 57%. See, I used 235 watt hours per mile to drive that 60 miles. It took me an hour and 12 minutes. Next place is 13 minutes from me. Here, it's going to be 9.6 miles away, and it says I'll get there at 57%. It also says the supercharger at the very end of my route I will now get to at 13%, when it was saying 9 this morning. So we're doing very efficient drives. 45 degrees is really helping. And the car seems to be warm. This is rather loud for 69. But it's warm outside, so whatever. Anyway, I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All done in there. That wasn't too shabby. I lost a percent while I was inside, but it still says I'll get to the next facility at 57%. It's still 12 minutes away, still 9.6 miles. Let's press the button and get out of here. Don't know that I'd be this far over to the right of this lane. I think that's all for parking. Yeah, we're driving in parking spots. Corrected itself, though. So, max is 30. It hit it, and now it's stuck there. Because I did the 20% offset. And at 25, the 40% offset would have been 35. And it wanted to go faster. So yes, that works better. I still would have liked it a little bit slower. So now we're in 45. It's not speeding up, but there's farm equipment that just pulled out in front of me. We should be able to get around that just fine, though. Now we're speeding up. Oh, I'm going to put it up to hurry. Forgot that. It did touch the line. Not too bad. Yeah, 64. Goes there immediately. But that's not the max it would go. I think 66 is. I don't want to touch it to check. Because if I'm correct, the car will speed itself up to 66 regardless. I could be wrong on such a short stretch of road, but you never know. If I went 60 miles without touching the wheel or anything, and then I have to touch the wheel on this 10-mile trip, that would not be good. Yep, we hit it. 66 max. I guess that's better than 70 plus back here. I really wish I could dial it in to 18%. That would have made the max 65. See, this is wrong. At a 20% offset at 25 miles per hour, should add 5 miles to the speed. So it shouldn't be more than 30, but it's set its max to 36. What's that about? That means it's probably not 25 on this road. At least according to the map data. Would it be 30? Yeah, it would be 30 on this road according to the max speed offset. Oh, it tries so hard. So I'm parked halfway on a handicapped and the employee of the month spot. I mean, it got me here, but let's fix that. Because I'm not handicapped, or at least I'm assuming I'm not their employee of the month. So I'll just park it where it should be. Oh, that was terrible too. That's the worst park job I've done. Yikes. Doing stuff like that, I can't complain about the way FSD parks. There we go. It's pretty embarrassing. I don't know if I'll leave that in the video or not. Preconditioning for fast charging. Did you add a stop? No, you didn't. It's so far away. Whatever. It's going to stop in just a second. That was a 10-mile drive. Took me 13 minutes. I used 227 watt hours per mile. So we're doing pretty good on efficiency. Thanks, I'll get to the supercharger near home at 11% now. So, I mean, we're fine. I just don't understand the preconditioning already. That's wild. I'm going to knock this place out. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, all finished in there. I got here at 56%, I think. And now I'm at 55%. Next facility is 47 minutes, 47 miles away. I'll get there apparently at 41%. It still says I'll get to the supercharger near home at 11%. I don't believe that's going to be true simply because the car is probably going to start preconditioning as soon as I leave here. We're sitting at 48 degrees. Everything else is fine. Off we go. I'm really impressed that the car did that. It backed up onto a street and then took off. That's awesome. It's even that 78 and a 65 is too much. All right, I'm going to roll this down to 72. So that is the first wheel press of the day, wheel touch. I'm going to pop us down to standard. I'm going to hit that to reset the max to 78. I probably should have just put us in standard in the first place. And we're right back to 78. That's crazy. And even standard's not getting out of the way. We're camping in the left lane here. I mean, technically this isn't a expressway. All right, I'm going to press the button to get us out of this lane. And the two cars that were following me did the same exact thing. Now we go to 75. Ow, I don't care. It didn't catch the 75. Now it's 75, but it's still... Okay, there we go. Still had its max set to 78. I touched the speed limit sign and it reset it. It set it to 90, but figured it out and put it back down to 80. 90, back to 85. So 90 is the max speed that the car will do on cruise control or autopilot. 85 is the max speed the car will do on FSD. So that's why that happened. Gotta get over. Gotta get over. All right, that's not right. Entering into a construction zone, the lane we were in was merging. The car was not going to merge. So 3 wheel touches and 1 disengagement. 4th wheel touch coming up. There we go. Just raise the max speed because we are going slower than most of the traffic around us. And it didn't catch the 70. So I popped us up to 85. So it's 5 wheel touches, 1 disengagement. We're doing so well to start with. Here we go again. This one I'm not worried about. There's no cars I'm trying to cut off. Very well handled on that right turn on red. Right at the door. Right at the door. All right, that was 47 miles, 5 wheel touches, and 1 disengagement. Got here at 40%. That trip was 47 miles. It took me 45 minutes. I used 234 watt hours per mile. Surprisingly enough, the car did not precondition that entire time, even though it started to precondition when we got to the last facility, which was kind of weird. The supercharger is 1 hour and 8 minutes away. It is 74 miles. Says I'll get there at 11%. I'm sitting at 40% now, and I'm going to go knock this place out. So I'll be back in just a sec. All right, all finished in there. Super quick. I loved it. Oh, the second visit for new facilities is awesome. So I still have 1 hour and 9 minutes and 74 miles to go. It says I'll get there at 10% now. I'm still sitting at 40. So I don't know what changed. There is a fire truck right behind me. I believe if I was driving, there'd be enough space to get out of here. I'm going to see what FSD does. Oh, it's trying it. That's pretty impressive. You got enough room, you can go. Oh, there's a person walking. That's why. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic. It actually did it better than I probably would have done. I probably would have had to back up again. It would have been a 3-point turn. I'm still in a hurry and I still have a 20% offset. We'll see what happens. There, it did it appropriately. It said it's max to 42 and it slowed down to 42 when we got in this 35-mile-an-hour zone. I'll give it kudos for that. Hitting the brakes here. Oh, speed limit changed to 30, that's why. Very good turn. Very confident turn. There was oncoming traffic, but they were going slow enough. The car determined that it can make it. It turned sharply enough to get onto the highway and not make this wide turn. And it didn't feel uncomfortable. I loved it. It's 20% offset where it's at. Like, is that where I should keep it? So it'll be 14 miles over 70, which would be 84. It's basically the speed cap. We're preconditioning, so I expect the 10% to change. We did jump up to 287 watt hours per mile, down to 281. I don't know if it's heating up the battery. It's 52 degrees, or is it cooling it down? So it's not using a lot of energy, which is surprising. We're at 274, 272. We did slow down a bit. Yeah, it's coming back up. So we're going faster. And slowing down again. Preconditioning's done. We're using 303 watt hours per mile. We are doing 83, and if I had to guess, I'd say the wind was blowing right in our face. It usually tells me this. 8.7 mile per hour wind from the north cost 0.6% this trip. Back to preconditioning. Still using like 284 watt hours per mile. And it says now I'll get there at 11%. I don't know what's going on, man. Right? Car came up very quickly. This car decided to get over and let them pass. Love to see it. All right. There's another car behind me. Wants to pass. Car wasn't doing it this time, so I pressed the button. That's one wheel touch. You gonna go around this person, or are you just gonna sit back there behind him? Going slower and slower. All right. Good choice. See, this is what the Tesla looks like when it just hangs out in the passing lane. This is why I love FSD. Got all this extra traffic now. This isn't the worst it's ever been or ever going to be. But we dropped to 59. And I didn't have to do anything. The car just like, I guess I'll slow down. And when it's available, it'll speed right back up. This right here is the best part of having a car that will drive for you. Good job, car. Person in the red Chevy there diving all the way across, wanting to get in the 131 North exit ramp, decided to slow down on the highway instead of speed up. She could have gotten up to speed and gotten over, and it would have been fine. But this car wasn't having any of that mess. It was like, you know what? You do you. I'm going to get over there and get out of your way. 2 wheel presses that time. Nothing compared to the penultimate leg, where it was 5 wheel presses and 1 disengagement. First 2 legs, I didn't do anything. That was wonderful, especially considering, it was altogether like an hour and a half of driving. Cars made some impressive moves today. Just happened with the lady in the red Chevy, jumped out in front of us. Car just smoothly transitioned to the other lane. Didn't slow down or anything. It was great. In a parking lot, we're kind of blocked in by a fire hydrant. A fire hydrant. Kind of blocked in by a fire truck. The car smoothly backed out and then went forward. It did hesitate a little bit, but there was a person walking, so I understand why. But it did it. That was amazing. This leg was 273 watt hours per mile. We've gone 75 miles is what it'll end up being. About an hour and 7 minutes. This trip was 190 miles. We used 249 watt hours per mile, which is basically 4 miles per kilowatt hour. That's pretty good. Says we'll get there at 11%, which is 1% more than predicted. I saw it bounce between 9% and 14% today as the predicted arrival stated charge. So still not too bad. We're sitting at 55 degrees right now. Car's still preconditioning, and I don't know what it's doing. It's been doing it for a while, but percentage state of charge has arrival percentage state of charge has not dropped. So it is what it is. No big deal. Anyway, if you liked it, like it. If you didn't, there's the other one. If you think someone else will like it, share it with them. And if you really liked it, subscribe to see more. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns, you can leave them down below and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Anyway, thanks for watching. Deuces. Woo. And good thing YouTube doesn't have smell-o-vision.